Alright, I wanted to make a video about the Zeiss Sporting and Optics division being sold to Palero. This news was not new news. It was released February 26, 2026. And basically Zeiss is selling their entire sports optic division to Palero, who will be the owner. And Zeiss will allow them to manufacture, sell binoculars and sports optics with Zeiss badged on it. Is basically a licensing partnership, and this is planning to take place by the second half of 2026 if all things go right. And Palero is a private equity firm, so basically they'll be responsible for manufacturing, sales, and customer service for binoculars with the Zeiss logo printed on them. Now, it's no secret that Zeiss makes many of their binoculars not in Germany, but they oversee production in other countries such as Japan and China. Although their alpha binoculars, the Zeiss SFs, are actually made in Germany, which I believe they're made in the Wetzlar factory in Germany. Now, interestingly enough, they're making some changes where the Wetzlar factory is also planned to either cut production dramatically or shut down by the end of 2026. So naturally, I expect that Zeiss will shut down or discontinue their production of the Victory SF binoculars, which is currently their alpha pair of binoculars. Now, Zeiss did recently release their SFLs, which are very nice binoculars, but they are not alpha tier binoculars like the Zeiss Victory SFs were. Now, will Zeiss replace the Victory SFs with a new alpha that's updated or better than the SFLs? I think that's unlikely, as these SFs are currently made and produced in Wetzlar, Germany, and they're going to close that plant or really decrease production in that plant, probably discontinuing production of the Zeiss SFs as well. And basically that leaves Palero and Zeiss or Palero with just their overseas binocular manufacturers, like SFLs are made in Japan. I think the Conquest may be made in Japan or China or something, but therefore, Palero will not necessarily be responsible for running a factory. They may be designing the binoculars or at least overseeing the production in overseas factories, and then putting the Zeiss logo on there under the licensing agreement. Now, where that brings me, I currently own a pair of Zeiss Victory SFs and 8x42s, and I love those binoculars, and they're amazing. That brings me to some, reservation about if I were interested in purchasing these SFs today, I may pass up on it. One, because they're going to probably stop production, and two, I always wonder about the warranty service, which will now be handled through Palero. And Zeiss has been very good about their warranties. Not nearly as good as Swarovski, but Zeiss has been really good about their warranties. And since I believe these binoculars are made in Germany, probably that Wetzlar plant, that if I need my binoculars to be serviced or warranted in the future, I'm not sure entirely how Palero will handle it. And will they say, oh, we don't service them, here's a new one? They have seemed, somewhere I've read that they are committed to continuing with servicing the warranties that are put out, that are currently available for their SFs, in spite of the production stopping. I'm actually not entirely sure they'll stop production, but in spite of them closing that Wetzlar plant. And so it's only to be told, but Palero is a private equity company, and their interest in protecting the Zeiss brand and identity and reputation, I have trouble believing will be that of Zeiss themselves. I'm not, you don't want to pass judgment or make assumptions. They may be great, but private equity company, being licensing the brand name that Zeiss, is built, just makes me scratch my head. And I don't trust it until I see it or I've experience with it or seen if people have had good experiences. Hopefully they are good, and hopefully, Palero will do a good job, and these guys run a tight ship and will uphold Zeiss's reputation and not just be, pencil pushers. But, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the, customer service is not as good as it used to be under Zeiss themselves. Another point I want to make is Zeiss, everybody knows across globally and everywhere that Zeiss is just about flagship when it comes to glass. Whether it's sports optics, whether it's binoculars, whether it's camera lenses, or even medical equipment, that Zeiss has a reputation. When people see the Zeiss logo on optics that they're going to use, they trust it and they know, okay, it's going to be one of very well thought out, manufactured, good quality, and they can just trust it because Zeiss has historically had a passion for innovation in optics, innovation in making some of the best glass in the world for decades and years and years and years. And so that reputation is not easily earned. And giving a private company ability to license their brand, just something just doesn't sit right. It gives me hesitation. And we'll see how it goes. And this is not just all my thoughts. This is all chatter. You can feel free to read on Bird Forum's website, and then also you can browse Zeiss's website and see what their lineup is. And that leads me to my last point is it's possible that Swarovski is now going to be the only alpha standing. Okay, so here's the alphas. And I know there's not Leica Noctivids, there's the Zeiss SF, there's Swarovski NLs. Now, out of all of these, when people really narrow it down to look for an alpha, they pretty much usually settle between the SFs and the NL Pures for pure optical quality. The Noctivids optical quality is great, but when it comes to field of view, chromatic aberration, weight, and just all of the metrics really being at the best they can, what you're usually left with is Zeiss SF and the NL Pures. And then between these, the SFs and the NL Pures is pretty much preference. Noctivids are great too, and someone still may prefer the Noctivids and use them as their alpha, but for pure field of view, chromatic aberration control, it generally boils down to the NLs and the SFs. Now with the SFs possibly being cut off or the production being stopped by the end of 2026, it really leaves us with just the NL Pures. And I have nothing against Swarovski. I actually own my two favorite pair of binoculars, and two binoculars I use are the Zeiss SFs 8x42s and the Swarovski CLB companions in 8x30s. And so I'm brand agnostic, but I just don't like that there will possibly be just one alpha brand available in the picture, because I think competition is good. It kind of gives Swarovski a little bit of an edge on being able to price this even more aggressively. So we'll see where that falls, but I wish there were more options. And to be quite frank, between the SFs and the NL Pures don't quite actually work for my face and with some of their specifications and their eye cup placement. So I'm glad I had two alpha binoculars to pick from, but now these SFs are discontinued, it's just NLs. And so, and I also think Zeiss on these SFs did an excellent job of, really designing them ground up, putting the weight towards the eye cups, keeping the weight down as best as they could. I mean, 2 ounces isn't that much, but it's still something. And plus the weight distribution, the Zeiss's weight distribution is a little bit better. Anyways, I kind of wanted to, this is not necessarily new information, but just to kind of talk about it in a video, because I have people who follow, I guess, subscribe to my channels from some of my past binocular videos, and I just wanted to put that out there. So if I were in the market right now for some alpha binoculars, I really would be, you know, unless the NL Pures really didn't work for me, I wouldn't go with the SFs. Unless the NL Pures just didn't work for my face, I'd probably just go with NLs, because it's unsure how the warranties are going to be handled in the future. If they're discontinued, support might be limited, and all of Swarovski's binoculars are still made in Austria, and so they stand behind their products. People have said they have the best warranty experiences with Swarovski, and now, as of now, they're not licensing their name. They're making their own binoculars, and they're passionate for sports optics, or, you know, nature observation optics, and they're still innovating. They've just released their new lineup of CL binoculars, and so they're still innovating. Although I still prefer the CLBs, their old ones. Anyways, that's a different story. But they're still innovating. They're still putting out new models. Zeiss put these SFLs out while they're owned by Zeiss. And the SFLs are not alpha tier. They're new, they're great, but they're just not on the level of the SF. And so that's one thing. Lastly, I wanted to talk about where most of the glass that's used in the binoculars, alpha tier and the high quality binoculars, and in fact all optics, comes from. There's mainly the 3 or 4 plants that really melt and make glass for optics in the world. Is going to be the Ohara plant in Japan, the Hoya plant in Japan, the Hikari plant in Japan, and the Schott AG glass plant in Germany. And I believe the elements in the Victory SF, especially the fluorite element, the glass with the fluorite elements, come out of the Schott company in Germany. Now, when glass is made, not all batches are made the same. Once it's melted and cooled, basically glass after production comes out in 3 to 4 different grades. Grade 1 being the absolute best glass with the least inclusions, least bubbles, least striae and stress. I mean, obviously these are all microscopic, but the grade 1 glass ends up going into semiconductor production. They end up getting included into like space telescopes and really high-end medical equipment. So the best of the best glass, when made out of these plants, ends up getting into semiconductor production, medical equipment, and telescopes. Grade 2 glass actually ends up getting into sports optics, binoculars, and also the medical equipment. So it's, interestingly enough, to get some of the best views in these alpha binoculars, they're really sourcing the best glass, grade 2 glass. And then grade 3 glass typically goes into camera lenses, and then the grade 4 glass will be used in eyeglasses. Now, after this glass is made, it obviously needs to be ground and shaped, and that process is usually done at the companies. So, for example, Swarovski will get the glass, and then according to their specification, then they'll grind it, they'll shape it, and then usually they'll put their own proprietary coatings on there. Now, since Zeiss is kind of letting go of their production in-house in Germany and allowing Palero to oversee their production in their other factories or locations overseas, and I'm not even sure if Zeiss just gives these factories that are not Zeiss factories specifications about how they want their binoculars to be built, and then having their Zeiss logo placed on them, basically designing them like overseas, and then having them just made overseas and putting their logo on there, or if those factories are actually Zeiss's factories but just happen to be overseas. I'm not sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if there may be factories that may make binoculars for Nikon, Zeiss, and maybe other optical companies like maybe GPO or something like that. But that factory may be making binoculars for multiple different companies, but then putting the appropriate logos for multiple different companies at their specifications, and then putting their designated logos on them. I'm not sure. But that also brings me to my last point is, since Schott AG is technically, I think, a Zeiss company, it's I think a subsidiary of Zeiss. Zeiss probably had first dibs on the best glass coming out of that factory for their medical equipment, for their sporting optics. Now with their sales of Palero and with shutting down or decreasing production at the Wetzlar factory, will they still have first dibs on their own glass? Or will they be just put back into line with everyone else? Who knows? All these are questions to be answered, and all these possibly even trade secrets, but it just makes me wonder. Yeah, so it's kind of an unfortunate thing, but who knows? I could be wrong, and Palero may surprise me, and they may share the same passion for optics as Zeiss does, although I don't see evidence of that anywhere on their website. They seem to have a passion for running businesses and respecting, investing, learning, and succeeding, for whatever that means, and being true to their investors and making a profit. I don't know how that'll fare for R&D, but this is definitely a conglomerate that owns different brands. Hopefully Zeiss has still kept some reins over the production. Some people even think of it as a positive. Look, maybe a good thing if there will be more money for research and development, etc. Okay. Or, worst case, it's another buy, slim, sell deal where the unprofitable parts of the company are cut. Premium optics, for example, before selling. Palero seems to be based in Germany, so perhaps they have some respects for the Zeiss brand. This is all stuff I've been saying. Licensing a brand to the new owner also might come with some restrictions. And we will launch new products in all 4 categories. They still may launch new products, but hopefully it's not just, chintzy, consumer grade, just like off the shelf stuff, lower than their even Conquest line. I just hope it's not that. I would say replacement update with Zeiss SF is pretty likely, maybe with IS. Who knows? This is all speculation, but maybe if you're in the market for an SF, just hold your breath, wait and see, or just go for it and get it. If they really work, maybe your last chance to get some SFs. Look at it both ways. If you have something like NL Pures, laws of physics, very good. Anyways, all right, hope you enjoyed this. Some of my ramblings about optics, the optical field, and what's to come. We'll see how it unfolds. Thanks for watching.